What is good, y'all? It's your boy GodCO here. Welcome back to Mount Olympus Gaming. And in today's video, we're gonna go over a few tips that will make your ERMAC extremely strong. So let's get right into it. The first thing what I want to discuss is ERMAC'S sweep, right? His back four. Well, that's his stand for. His back four. So as you can see, the startup is 15. The block advantage is neutral, it's 0. Now, this is really good. Now, let me tell you why. His sweep reaches pretty far. You know, sometimes people's sweeps are stationary, but his, he kind of leaps forward, which is good because that means you can go into other strings depending on like a down one, for example. Depending on how fast you are, if you're just simply mashing it, you can beat them out. And I'm going to show you when I'm going to set the AI to automatically do a down one after any move that we do, just to give you guys an example of how you can punish them. All right, so now I have the AI set to automatically do a down one after they receive damage. As you can see here, they do a down one. So let's get back into the sweep. So if I'm here, we're trying to close the distance, right? By the way, his movement is also another thing that's really good about this character. He has great movement. We do this, look at that, because we tapped the button faster than he did. Now, if that time he beat us to the punch. So if you don't want to mash, you can go into a strike throw, grab after that. You can do the sweep. You could take your turn back and punish because he's already -8 after you effectively block a down one, right? This move needs to be a part of your game plan, right? I know you probably want to use other moves like this, which is equally good at certain distances, right? You can still block things like that, but the sweep, you always want to force them to block low because it's going to help with applying pressure. And that's actually the next step or the next tip that we are about to get into right now. All right, so applying pressure. First, I want to explain to you his flowchart, right? Or how to get his offensive pressure going, right? So any move you do, we're going to use a simple string, his fastest string, 1-2, right? It's also neutral on block. So what you want to do is 1-2, cancel, going into the string, right? Now, the first thing is you want to get them used to blocking low like this, right? 1-2-3. You want to get them used to this whole string. Trust me, it's going to get them. But then you do 1-2, go into another string, go into another low. You could do 1-2, into the grab. You could do 1-2. You could let that rip if they try to challenge. This is pretty much the basis of what you're going to want to be doing. This is how you're going to apply pressure. Pretty much any string that you do, whether it's also his mid, right? Back up. Once they start getting used to you doing that move or they stop challenging you, the mind games happen. Are you going to grab? Are you going to let it rock? Are you just going to let the string rock in the first time, right? This is pretty much the initial mind game that's going to make everyone extremely uncomfortable and you're going to irritate your opponent. So now let's talk about, or let's go over situations where the AI is actually poking. All right, so now we have the AI set again to poke after a string. So the cancels is very powerful. It seems very good, but you also can't do them willy-nilly, right? The cancels is really based on your level of conditioning your opponent. Anytime there's a cancel character, a level of conditioning is required. So you can't just right off the bat start doing that. I mean, when you're in the casual levels or the lower ranks, right? Yeah, you could probably get away with it. But once you start climbing the ranks and you start getting to like the mid ranks or like the god ranks, you know, people are going to lab this and people are going to be reacting. So let's get into the first thing, doing the 1-2, the cancel, and see what happens after that. As you can see, we got poked out. So now this is where the mind games happen. So if you do this, that's good, right? So let's just get it out the way. 1-2-3, even if you just want to see what's going to happen, it's going to be good. Now, the AI is not going to get hit, but a normal person, like a human opponent that you're playing online, this will catch them. Because once you start getting used to the cancels, they're going to want, they think they can just mash. That's cool. Just let the string rock. Don't even do the cancel. Or you could do that. And as you can see, it's a counter to their down one. And just like I showed earlier, you can do 1-2, the back up. Look at that. You can punish. Now, you can also EX that to get more of a combo route. But I'm just pretty much showing you guys his flowchart, right? So now, let's go over like his mids. And this is pretty much whatever string that you're doing, right? So let's do his mid string. I'm gonna do his full string to show you what happens when you try to poke. All right, so just like the first example with 1, 2, 3, then going into 1, 2, cancel, forward, forward. The same thing with his mid. You're gonna want to do back 4, 2. Well, back 2, 4, 2. That's the whole string, and it catches them if they're trying to mash. Once they start respecting you and you start conditioning them to block that, as you can see, then you are gonna start doing this move. Then you're gonna start adding this layer, right? Because they're gonna be accustomed to see when you back up. Then let it rip. Now here's the thing. This move is actually negative 15 on block. So be careful when you do this as well. The next thing you can always do is you can always back up. Cancel dashing backwards. And the same thing, you can equally punish them with the same string. So now, after you establish that, you establish doing the whole string. You could also just block that and wait for them to challenge. Or, oh, wrong move. Back up, and you can punish them. You can EX that move, and you can get a full combo punish for them trying to take their turn back, right? Now, that's his second string. So let's get into another way to apply pressure. ERMAC has this move right here. Forward 4, 3, right? It's a really good move. He's airborne and he's relatively safe because he's -5. So that means that you can't necessarily take your turn back, but you have enough frames to actually block. So we're going to say that you're relatively safe. Now, the real thing is in his forward 4, right? So his forward 4, air cancel. So let me put that on the screen just so y'all can have a better idea as far as button wise what's going on here. Okay, so this is exactly how you're gonna apply the pressure. You're gonna do the forward 1 to cancel, to stand, and to jump 1, because that's always gonna catch them. As you can see, he was trying to do a down 1, but it got stuffed with my jump 1, the overhead, right? That's cool. And then from there, you can go to a combo or other routes of your choosing. You get the picture here, right? Now it seems good. Now, if they are patient, right, this is also something else you can do. So let me turn this off as far, let me turn off the mash. All right, so another thing you can do when you do that is once you condition them with this, the overhead move, then you can go into your low right after, right? This is gonna this right here is also another way to keep them off balance. And as you can kind of get the picture, ERMAC is really, you're really gonna have to pay attention when playing him because he's moving fast and he's doing a lot of cancels. So people's reactions are gonna have to be up there, right? So I'm gonna put the AI back to where it mashes down 1, because there are ways to counter that. So I'm gonna do that same thing, but this time the AI is gonna do a down 1. He can punish. So as you can see, it's not, you know, they can't do anything at all. They definitely can. But the name of the game with ERMAC'S effectiveness is conditioning. Condition, condition, condition. You have to condition your opponent, then you can implement your plan. That is the name of the game. You can't just mindlessly pick him up and start doing things. To a more skilled player who has better reactions and who notice patterns, they're gonna pick up on it and they're gonna punish you when they realize how many gaps or how negative you are. But when you start actually applying this type of pressure and actually conditioning your opponent, then that's when you're gonna see the true beauty of ERMAC. So we're gonna move along to the next tip. We're gonna talk about his back forward 3 move. Let's put that on the screen for those of you who actually wants to know the specific move. So this move right here, this is what you want to do, right? Back forward 3, it does this move. Now, it definitely launches him, which is good. You always love meterless launchers in Mortal Kombat 1. But here's the thing about this move, right? When you do it, you can cancel into it, right? And you can, you know, let's say go into a combo, such like this. But did you know you can actually cancel this and go airborne? And this is where the problem happens. So as you can see, I try to cancel, I try to jump, and it did not work because this is a very tight window. right? This is what you're gonna be looking for, right? That's pretty much what you're gonna wanna do. It can add more damage to your combos, but it is a little bit more advanced. The window is a lot tighter, and I'm gonna show you a tip that I've learned to effectively do it all the time. So when you're doing any string into it, what I like to do is the moment he hits, his knees hit the ground, that's when you jump. That's when you do the forward, and then you wait until you see a movement. Right there. Now, if you look at the button log on the side of the screen, I really had to do that perfectly. Your inputs have to be clean for this move to work. It's definitely a saucy move to do when you want to add that much more hits in a combo. But in order to do this, you really have to have clean inputs. The key factor here to do the forward cancel is when ERMAC drops to his knees. The moment he drops to his knees, you need to buffer. That's pretty much how you're going to be doing this. So as you can see when it hits him. You see that? So let's do it again. There you go. Now you could jump. So when he drops to his knees, that's when you do the forward, and then you, once you see his movement, then you jump in the air. Or if you just want to keep it very optimal, which is what I do preferably, I guess in the heat of the moment when you're having a battle, if you did a move like this, I just go into a stand 4 and whatever combo route that you like to go to, but just forward into a grounded button is more optimal. But if you want to, you know, get a little bit more saucy and show that, you know, you have clean inputs and style on your opponent, when the man dropped to his knees, forward, and then you're good like that. So we're going to move along to the final tip. The name of the game that you need to remember with ERMAC is conditioning, right? We just spoke about that in the last tip. But remember this, damage is not the main thing. Irritation and spacing is the goal. When you're playing ERMAC, I know a lot of people want to do like high damaging combos. I love doing high damaging combos. I have a few of them posted on YouTube Shorts, right? Which is, it's good. You also want to equally, you know, punish. But the name of the game when playing ERMAC is not to try to hurry up and get your damage. It's really a psychological battle. You want to condition, you want to irritate them. You want them to get frustrated so they can just start doing irrational things like mindlessly trying to poke, mindlessly trying to armor, and then you spacing and countering, then punishing them, right? This is how ERMAC is supposed to be played. Yes, he has really good offensive tools with the cancels, but like earlier in the video, a simple down one can knock him out of it. And in most cases too, some armored moves can knock him out of it. So it's gonna require levels of conditioning. But if you remember this, I'm telling you, your ERMAC will be extremely effective and you would definitely dominate a lot of people in Kombat League or just in Mortal Kombat in general. All right, so that wraps up this video. If you found this video helpful in any way, drop a like, drop a sub, and yeah, I really want to know what's your guys' opinions on ERMAC. If you applied some of these things into your game plan, and if they did help you, drop them in the comment section. I really want to know if these tips are actually helping you. But other than that, I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.